Yooka-Laylee is by and large the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. Playtonic Games, comprised of ex-developers from Rare, created a Kickstarter in 2015 with the hopes of revitalizing platformers. Does this Nintendo 64-inspired game have what it takes to renew interest in the genre? Or is it a nostalgia trip not worth taking? Let's get to the review and find out. The story follows Yooka, the lizard, and Laylee, the bat, out to find the missing pages from their book, which was stolen by the evil capital B, who is, funnily enough, a bee. Many friends along the way, including Trouser, a snake awkwardly slipped into shorts, aid them. Yooka-Laylee is definitely very pun-heavy, and I'm a fan of that kind of humor, and the overall character design is great too, but the writing lacks punch. These jokes poke fun at nostalgia, specifically with Banjo-Kazooie, and aim to break the fourth wall, but it's not clever at all. I can feel my ribs practically aching from the invisible elbow reaching out of the TV screen from Yooka-Laylee and jabbing me there, as if to say, do you get it? We're being clever. Suffice it to say, the charming names and designs alone couldn't save these interactions from feeling hacky and annoying, especially due to the dialogue being spoken in guttural nonsense, which is another throwback to Banjo-Kazooie, but one not worth paying homage to. Getting past the story, the gameplay didn't make me feel any better. At the start, the duo can handle the basics of a platformer, from running, jumping, and spinning to attack enemies. The aforementioned Trouser handles ability upgrades. Necessary progression skills will be free of charge, but if you want to boost the duo's fighting and exploration abilities, that will cost quills, which are the currency in this world. Even if you passively collect them throughout the various worlds, there's never really a big shortage, so upgrading is easy. The controls are just a bit off, making Yooka come across as a little spastic or floaty in design. This led to me having to repeat the simplest of platforming segments because of it. However, once you get the ability to glide using Laylee very early in the game, these problems were subdued, but it's not like those were my only issues with the controls. The camera is a bit off, and his rolling ability is also somewhat, let's call it, drunk. I will say though that playing it more helped me adjust to these quirks. But that aside, let's get to the levels, which present another set of problems. So there's a beginning hub area with tutorials, followed by Capital B's Corporation Tower, which houses many books that stand in for worlds. These worlds can be unlocked via pages, and they can also be upgraded to expand that area. In theory, this is great, but the first area you visit, Travel Stack Tropics, didn't make a good first impression because nothing tells the player what is and is not finished. For example, there is a section here you can climb to the top of that is empty, but seems like some secret should be there. I looked and looked, did not find anything, so I just moved on. After I upgraded Travel Stack Tropics, then I realized, oh, that area just wasn't finished yet. It's a very poor model, but one that's only really frustrating in this first area for the most part, and it's actually conveyed better in other sections of the game, so this problem is a bit moot, but one I thought was worth mentioning anyway. Even if these issues were fixed, I still don't think Yooka-Laylee would be fun to play. The level layouts are open yet empty and confusing to navigate, making the simplest tasks tedious. It's the platformer equivalent to a checklist wherein you collect stuff in order to progress, and that's about it. I didn't feel any whimsy or excitement from the game. Again, tedious is a good word to perfectly describe every step I was taking in this game. I got through the first 3 worlds with hardly a smile cracked, so I put the game down. I was troubled at this point. Is this game just not good, or is it me? I decided to go back to the source of it all, Banjo-Kazooie via Rare Replay on Xbox One, in order to give myself some context. In this era, my brother and I went to the PlayStation from then on, and while I missed out on historical landmarks like Super Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, it's not like the PlayStation family lacked stellar platformers. I got hooked on games like Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet & Clank instead. So suffice it to say, my platforming skills were not rusty. And all that said, did I actually enjoy Banjo-Kazooie now? Hell yes! It is still excellent, which makes every issue I have with Yooka-Laylee more glaring, but playing it at least helped me come to a conclusion. Kickstarter is a wonderful place where developers both new and old can make their dreams come true. We've seen a lot of these games released like Axiom Verge and Shovel Knight, that improve upon the genres they are mirroring. On the downside, we also get games like Mighty No. 9 and, sorry to say, Yooka-Laylee. Like Mighty No. 9, Yooka-Laylee suffers from Kickstarter-itis, as I want to call it, which is to say it tries to do too much at launch thanks to stretch goals instead of refining the core game. Even though the team is comprised of ex-Rare people, Yooka-Laylee feels like a cheap clone. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, and perhaps my lack of playing Banjo-Kazooie in the moment is why I'm not feeling Yooka-Laylee's magic or lack thereof. It has its moments, especially with some of the later segments and the ending itself, but the overall pacing, design, controls, and so forth made even the good parts feel lackluster. I may be the only negative outlier here, but I have to go with my gut on this one. Hopefully if Playtonic Games gets another chance, they can win me back with their next project. Did you know that was a ReActionExaminer video? If you liked it, you should subscribe to me to keep up with everything that I'm doing. Also, if you have some other interests, like sex for example, check out Tum Ups, which is a comedy sex podcast thing wherein my best friend and I check out the weird and abnormal and the erotic. And of course you should support me on Patreon because hey, I want to make the channel better and I want your help to do so. Plus, if you want to check out my writing, check out Game Jerk where I have archives and new stuff for all projects, okay? You can find all the stuff and more in the description with the links below. Thanks for watching and I will see you all next time.